to the show. Today we're checking out the ZimaBoard number 2, and this is a tiny little computer. And in this video, we're going to be mainly testing on how well it performs at AI. We're going to be running some models locally, showing you the performance, and by happenstance, we're also going to be doing a comparison between Ollama and Llama.cpp, and to see which one performs better. Spoiler, the one beginning with O doesn't do too well, but check this out. It's got a PCIe port, so you can actually plug in a graphics card if you wanted to. Whoa, you got not one, but 2 Ethernets, you got USB-Cs, and you got like a monitor out. And on this side here, you even got SATA, so you can actually RAID this up. It comes with a cage, and you can actually RAID it up and put hard drives inside and do all this kind of crazy stuff. And even, look, check this out, there's a fan plug-in, so you can actually, it's made for DIYers and tinkerers. You can actually unscrew it, install this fan, and you know what, I'm going to be running this raw first, just to see how well it does, if it overheats, all that kind of stuff. Is there any throttling? Just looking at the specs though, look at here, hyper performance single board server, 3 times faster than the last one, and it's got 16 gigs of memorandios, so that is going to be good for us LPDDR4 4800 megahertz. I want to see what kind of performance we can get out of this beast. So I'm just going to plug it in right now, and we're going to see how quickly this guy boots up. So HDMI 2 has been made available. So we're going to start it up there, and it gives my IP address. So if you're worried about having to have a dedicated monitor for this, you don't need to worry about that. It's mainly a web UI kind of situation. So we're going to go into here, and this is the interface that you get. So you get the activity monitor, bang, right in the middle. You got an app store with tons of apps to install. They're all mainly Docker based, so it's all virtualized in its own little directory. You don't have to worry about data spillage and all that kind of stuff. Protecting your resources. So you got Walla Bag, Twin Gate, Thread Thing, Sync Thing, Plex, Pi-hole, yeah, Ollama with an NVIDIA GPU, or Llama without an NVIDIA GPU, open hand, so you got the agentic AI applications all built in to this operating system and everything to be used. So the first application I guess we should start off with is Ollama. Now you can hit install via Ollama here, and that will install like a really old version of Ollama. And most of the latest models, it will say, I can't support this. But you can also install the latest version of Ollama directly using Docker. So I guess what I'll do right now is I'll jump into the deep end, show you the performance that you will get with the latest version of Ollama and Llama.cpp. And then if you like it, at the end of the video, I'll show you actually how to install it and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go settings here and then scroll down to the bottom and select developer mode. And to do this, because you need to enable SSH access, and that allows you to log in remotely using terminal and run the Docker commands that's required for this. There is also a web UI for this. So you can press plus and install customized app, and you can fill that in. I like going a bit, you know, to the terminal, so I know exactly what I'm doing. But yeah, you can just give it the Docker image, the tag latest, and the application name Llama and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to log in via SSH. But remember, if you aren't using SSH, try to disable it, because if you can log in, that means other people can log in and all that kind of stuff. So, and one of the cool things about it, when you do have SSH enabled, it does have a web-based terminal. So if your system doesn't support SSHing in, you can just SSH directly using the web page. So in order to get Ollama installed, it's this command. So sudo docker run -d -v Ollama, and that's the latest version. So if I go into my IP address, you can see that Ollama is running. So the way to use Ollama is all about making curl requests. So if I wanted to get the basic version of Llama 3.21b, I go ahead and download it just using curl. I give my IP address an API pull, and then I give the model, which is Llama 321b. Make sure that I've got that downloaded, and then in order to make an API request to do some sort of inferencing, you go ahead and just do an API chat request, and this user hello, and this is using the API. And if we jump into ZimaOS, we should see, look, the CPU is starting to do some work, and the RAM is at 14% because we've got the model loaded into memory. And look at that, we actually got a response. Now it's a lot tidier for us if we disable streaming, so we can actually see what's going on. So I'll type in stream, and I'll make that false, so that we will just present the answer straight away. And now it's like an instant result, instant response. So Llama 3.21b, super duper fast. What we can do is we can do a more advanced curl request. This one feeds it into JQ, and that way it does a little bit of math. It tells us our tokens per second, and boom, we can get 17.5 tokens per second with Llama 3.21b. Now it's a very, very tiny model, kind of model that runs on a mobile phone. So it's just kind of getting ETA. What we want to do now is switch up and see if we can do something a little bit more advanced. So I'm going to switch it over to Gemma 4, the 4 billion parameter model. So I'm going to pull that one. And Gemma 4 E4B. So that one's actually a much bigger one. It's 4B. There's a 2B one, and that one runs a lot faster. And what I'll do is I'll say hello first, just to make sure that it's active and see how slow it is. So we can see here on the left here, our CPU is climbing, our RAM is climbing here because it's loading the model into memory. And it's going to take quite a bit now. This is Ollama, by the way. We're going to switch it over to Llama.cpp very, very soon. And it's going to be a nicer interface, a lot faster and all that kind of stuff. But we're doing a comparison between Ollama and Llama.cpp. And by default, Ollama seems to be the application that is available on their app store. So it's worthwhile getting into doing this command line interface or installing custom containers because then you can get a lot better performance. But I'm just showing you out of the box, this is what you want to do if you want to don't want to do too much messing around. So it's still taking its time. Like we've got 77% of our RAM is now in use. So the model is pretty much loaded into memory, and we can see that our CPU has jumped up to 99%. So everything's loaded, it's doing the inferencing. I've got streaming set to false, so it should just give me a response saying hello and all that kind of stuff. And we finally have a response. It says it's 7 tokens per second, that generation. But you know, it took maybe a couple of minutes to even get to the state where it was actually generating tokens. So the model's still in RAM there, 77%. If I run that command again, it's still going to take a few minutes just to get a response out of this. I don't know what the O in Ollama is doing, but it's not doing too good of a job. Now, there is actually one thing you can do, which is good about Ollama, but you know, it's not that good because the other inferencing app does it better. You can actually inference an image, especially with Gemma 4. So here I'm just getting an image, a cat.jpg. I'm feeding it into curl and I'm providing the base 64 edition of the JPEG. So I'll run that, and that is gonna take a long time. So if you are at this stage checking out ZimaBoard 2 and thinking, okay, you can't do really local AI because it's way too slow, that is what you might think if you are using Ollama. So I'm just gonna stop that nonsense because it's no good, and I guess I'll show you how to uninstall it. So you want to do sudo docker stop Ollama, and then sudo docker rm Ollama, and then sudo docker remove the volume of Ollama, and just make sure that it's not running. And as you can see, we've got no containers called Ollama anymore of our system, and we can see there's no icons of Ollama. So we are grateful that we are in a nice space to get going. Now, if you go into the files application here, you can actually see the app data that Ollama had. And even though we've removed it, it's still using up all the storage where it downloaded lots of models. And the way Ollama likes to package its models is you can't really know what the model is. It's just a bunch of SH256s. Don't know if that's for security or just to annoy you. So what you should also do is go into files and move to trash, and that way you save your storage. So now we're going to get into the big boys, and we're going to go into Llama.cpp. So to do that, we're going to start off again with Llama 3.21b. And this is the Docker command for it. And whew, there you go. That's our web interface. And we've logged in. That was instantaneous kind of loading. I'm going to say write a story. Click on that plus button. Make sure MCP servers is disabled, and then hit play. And it's boom, smashing out the tokens. We're going to 30 tokens a second. And this is actually useful. This is good results. But again, we're still using that small model Llama 3.21b. Memory-wise, we're smashing out CPU. I can touch it right now. It is very warm, so it's not actually burning up my hand whatsoever, so that's good. RAM-wise, we're only using 9% of that 16 gigs of memory, and we've got a nice little network monitor graph. Going into Web UI, it's still smashing out the tokens. We're at over 700 tokens here, at 25 tokens a second. It's finished our story. Our story is about the old bookshop, Willow Creek, pushing an open creaky door. It's a good story. Now, it's not going to code for you this model because it's a very, very basic one. So what we're going to do now, we're going to switch it up to the more advanced models. So I've actually downloaded in my downloads folder. I've gone to Hugging Face and just downloaded a bunch of GGUFs. So I've got Gemma 4 E4B. So if you go into Hugging Face here, the one I've downloaded is Unsloth's Gemma 4 E4B. So there's two things you want to download. You want to download the quantization that you want. So I'm running E4 Q4KN. That's like a standard one that people like. But you also, if you want to do the vision inferencing, I don't know why they make it so complicated, but you need to download one of these mmproj files. So I've downloaded the mmproj BF16. Yeah, it's getting a bit complicated, but we're going into the deep end. But we're going into the deep end here to show you what is going on. So that's a Gemma 4 with GPT-OSS. We're going to be running that as well. That one is just a GGUF because it doesn't have vision inferencing. But these are two models that we're going to be running now. So to do that, you want to go back into the terminal window. We're going to rerun Llama.cpp. But first, we need to close it down. So I'm doing sudo docker rm Llama.cpp, and that will close down our Llama inference. And then I'm going to run it again, but this time I'm using Gemma 4 and I'm using the mmproj, which is the vision interface. And now when I refresh the page, I hit refresh, say that it's loading the model. So we're going to go into ZimaOS and we're going to see this RAM start to shoot up because it's loading it from our storage into RAM. Now notice the storage included in this is just 48 gigabytes. And it says here I've used 42. So I need to go into files here and just make sure my recycle bin is gone. So I've got a gigabyte of storage here. So I'm just going to trash that and free up some space. So you don't want to download too many models on the actual native operating system because that's going to slow it down. You probably just want to get an SSD or plug it into all these ports that you get to get some more storage. But I'm just showing you what we got. So I'll refresh the page here. Gemma 4 is loaded. So I'll do write the story again and it's processing and boom, we actually do have tokens being appeared on the screen. It says 7.6 tokens a second. So I remember Ollama was saying it was taking 7 tokens a second, but I remember with Ollama, when you tried using it, you had to wait a couple of minutes before it would even get to this state. So this one, the prompt processing or the loading, whatever it's doing, seems to be a lot better and we can be writing stories. But there is one more trick that this pony can do. And that is, if we just new here, you can go into make sure MCP servers is up, perfect. Go into add files. So I'm going to add in an image and I'm going to say describe. So this is prompt processing going to be a little bit slower because it needs to convert that JPEG image and that JPEG image is quite big. So this is an ETA, that's nice, 28 seconds. And you can see what it's doing here. The CPU is smashing out 100%. Touching it, it's still actually lukewarm. So I'm not burning up quite yet. Hopefully I'll burn up soon. We see that it's 56 to 60 degrees and we're only using 11 watts. And boom, we actually have tokens appearing on the screen. We're at 6.3 tokens a second. And this is a high quality dramatic photograph of a cat. So we actually are inferencing images. So I'll click stop here because we've got an idea 6.2 tokens a second when we're at fresh token. We can do some image inferencing running on the chip. It's all working fine there. Now there's one more model and that is GPT-OSS. And that was an open source release of ChatGPT by the makers of ChatGPT, OpenAI. And it came out almost a year ago. It's still a great model. Like if you look at the 120p version, like for legal, it's still up there in the top 10 for legal advice. I'm not saying use it for legal advice, but it seems to score really well in these kind of situations. So we'll get that going. Instant run starting to run automatically. So I'll refresh the page and I'll hit new and it should say we are loading the model. So if we go into this screen over here, we can see that the RAM is going to slowly start to build up. Temperature wise, I'm still holding it in my hand. Maybe it's not the hottest days over here. Maybe over here, we're in Australia. So we are actually in the middle of winter and it's dark outside. So it's probably cooler than normal days. But if you're in the summer, definitely you probably want to install this fan so you can make sure it runs cool and doesn't get too hot. Because if it gets too hot, it's going to thermal throttle. Now this model, if you go into the files situation, we can see that it's 11 gigabytes. So that's why it's a little bit slow to load, but you can see the RAM is loaded and we've only used up 65% of our memory. So even though we've got this massive model, well, massive for the size of 16 gigs, so GPT-OSS 20B, still massive in comparison, we still got 40% to play around with. So you can have other Dockers running and the applications itself, I'll show you it running. So I'm going to just make sure the MCP server is off because that will affect our prompt processing speed. So I'll type write a story. And boom, it's processing away. We can see that ZimaOS, its CPU is climbing, 68% is our RAM. And if we go here, we're going around 8.7, 8.8 tokens a second. So even though it's a bigger model than the Gemma 4, it actually runs faster because it actually has less active parameters. So that is one of the good things. And this one has reasoning. So it's saying that the user wants to write a story. We want to write a story about this, and it's going to think through what is going on. Now, I know in some versions of Llama.cpp, it gives you the option to disable reasoning, but this version, that's the latest version, they don't have it. Llama.cpp is always changing. You might end up getting the wrong version, which has a regression. Sometimes you get a good version, but that is the situation here. But you can see here, we're smashing out GPT-OSS 7+ tokens a second, and it's going through and answering the situation. And now I'm going to go into the operating system and see if I notice any sluggishness. So I'm going to refresh this page. I'm going to go into gallery, downloads, documents, media, backup. This all seems to be working. I'm refreshing the page, going to applications. I'm going to go into image over here and click for the images. And as you can see, I'm not noticing any slowdowns, even though we are using 99% of the CPU to inference. So that is pretty good, I gotta say. Pair drop, you can drag and drop files for any device. So it's kind of like your own cloud situation in our little system over here. And of course, you can always upgrade it. For example, this is one of the cages you can get. And with this, you can slot in 2 hard drives. Okay, I just screw it around like that. Maybe it's actually good because this is probably cool. So it allows you to spread the heat. So maybe that is actually a useful thing to get nonetheless. So what do you guys think of ZimaBoard 2? More elegant, more powerful. It can actually run local AI, Gemma 4, at least the E4B, and GPT-OSS 20B. Hope you guys found this video useful and enjoyed the show.